Hey guys, welcome to Dragon's Forge. Today's video is going to be about how to make your very first Cardfight Vanguard deck. To start the process, we need to start with the nation that we're going to build with. For our options, we have Dragon Empire, Stoicheia, Keter Sanctuary, Dark States, and Bront Gate. For today's video, we're going to build using Dragon Empire. Now with Dragon Empire, we have two basic builds at this time until future sets are released. That is either the Nirvana build or the Eugene build. For today's build, we're going to go ahead and go with Nirvana. So what Nirvana does is once per turn, you can discard a card from your hand and choose a grade 0 card from your drop and call it to rearguard circle. Then as well, when this unit attacks, you can counterblast 1, and this unit and all of your units with Overdress ability get power plus 10,000 until the end of the turn. So what we're looking for when we are building this deck is, first off, we need to find the ride chain that is used with Nirvana. We're looking for Overdress cards that support this overall ability, and then we are also looking for any potential beneficial grade 0 cards for this build. So moving on to the Overdress cards, first off, we have 3 in particular, being Verina Valiente, Verina, and Verina Arcs. Verina Valiente allows you to overdress over Trickstar or a grade 3 or less unit in the overdress state. So what this means is you are able to place this card over the top of a Trickstar or a grade 3 or less unit in the overdress state in order to put Verina Valiente into the overdress state. Then beyond that, it has this unit gets power plus 5,000 for each of the units in its original dress. So original dress are any cards that are beneath Verina Valiente. Then as well, once per turn, when the attack of this unit in the overdress state hits, you can counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand and stand this unit. So this is a very aggressive type of attacking unit. So we are going to be thinking about how can we make this more aggressive and more powerful overall. We're going to move on to Verina. So Verina, this is the version that came out in the trial deck. So it has Overdress over Trickstar. And then when this unit is in the overdress state, it attacks a Vanguard. This unit gets power plus 10,000 until the end of the battle. Then you can Soul Blast 2 to choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So again, this is going towards that direction of aggressive tactics. And then we have Verina Arcs with Overdress over Trickstar. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if it is in the overdress state, you can counterblast 1 and draw 2 cards, and this unit gets power plus 5,000 until the end of the turn. Again, further aggressive strategies, and in this case, we also get a little bit of card advantage generated when we do the overdress. So part of the problem with overdress is you tend to lose card advantage as you do the process. Therefore, this card helps balance that out overall. So we definitely know we have an aggressive strategy overall, and we need to focus on that in a big way. So at this time, we're going to be selecting Nirvana. We know for the ride chain, as we look through the cards, that includes also Blaze Maiden Rayu, it includes Blaze Maiden Reno, and then you have 2 choices for a starting Vanguard. As it currently sits. You either choose to run Sunrise Egg from the trial deck, or you run Trickstar. I personally believe that it is a better choice to run Trickstar, and the specific reason why is when you go through the ride chain and you ride on top of Blaze Maiden Rayu with Nirvana, you get to Soul Blast 1 card. That Trickstar would be in your soul at that point, allowing you to send a Trickstar to your drop zone to later be revived with Nirvana's ability. As well, in the ride chain, when Rayu rides over Reno, you gain access to a Trickstar by searching and putting onto the battlefield. So what you're looking for in an average game is a minimum of 2 Trickstar as often as possible. With the Sunrise Egg deck, you're not guaranteed this. Whereas if you do the Trickstar build, you are guaranteed 2 Trickstar every game regardless of your luck or anything like that. To me, it seems like that is the better direction to go just for consistency. So from there, we're going to look for cards that allow us to continue on with the aggressive strategy. We're going to look for our triggers and our perfect guards. So for triggers, since we're trying to be as aggressive as possible, we're going to select 8 critical. So we're going to have the 4 from the trial deck and then 4 that are coming out in the first booster set. Then we are also going to look for our 4 heal. We're going to have, of course, our over trigger, which in the case of our over trigger, it allows our Vanguard to restand and be able to attack again, which in the case of Nirvana, if you happen to have just enough counterblast, this could allow for additional boosting overall. So then we move on to our either a draw trigger or our front trigger. Due to the inherent lack of card advantage generated by the Overdress mechanic, I recommend that you do the draw trigger. The front trigger is not going to provide you enough advantage overall in battle. Then we have 2 options for our perfect guard. So we have the trial deck one, or we have the one from the first booster set. There's basically no reason why you should not run the one from the first booster set, because if you have 1 card or less in your hand when you use it, it is a free perfect guard, no additional discarding required, whereas you are always going to discard for the trial deck version. Then for any additional cards that we might be throwing in there, we're going to go ahead and throw in the Blitz order in order to increase the overall defensive mechanics of the deck. We're going to throw in a couple Tencha Stead. Tencha Stead, when it's boosting and the attack hits, you can counterblast 1 and search for the grade 3 unit that you have on Vanguard, or even any of your others. It could be your grade 2 or your grade 1, but realistically you're going to do your grade 3. This would allow for you to further secure persona rides. So we've quickly gone through how to build your deck. So the basic process was we started off with what nation we want to build with, which we selected Dragon Empire. Next, we selected the grade 3 that we wanted to build around. So in the case of that, we chose Nirvana. From there, we looked at Nirvana's ability and as well ride line to determine what additional cards that we put into the deck in order to flesh out the rest of it. So what we end up with is what we have here is a full deck overall that is fully built out, that with minor tweaking may get better from there, but we should be very good overall at this time. Now, the couple issues that we will have that we hope that will be addressed in the future for this build, and as well as other builds, whether they be in other nations or in Dragon Empire itself, is better resource management. So for example, in Nirvana, you use a lot of counterblast. You have Nirvana that uses it, you have Valiente, Arcs, Tencha Stead, all of that together really adds up to a lot of counterblast. Therefore, you have to be very careful about your resource management. But when you are playing this deck, what you are looking to do is to rush out there as quickly as possible in order to overwhelm your opponent. So for example, on that is exactly why I have chosen to run additional Blaze Maiden Renos instead of the other card that is generally picked right now, being Velocihazard. Velocihazard, when it boosts, it becomes a 10k booster, whereas Reno is an 8k booster. The advantage of Reno over Velocihazard, though, is she is live during your grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 turns, and so on. She's a valid attacker on grade 1, and she's also a valid attacker on grade 2 without any additional boosting. So this aids that early rush. The goal is to run out there so quickly that you force your opponent into 4 or 5 damage before you hit grade 3 ideally, so that when you are at grade 3 and you're pumping out these large amounts of power, they're having to guard everything. And at that point, they will run out of cards very quickly, and in turn, you'll be able to secure the win before you run out of resources. So in general, this is how you build your first Cardfight Vanguard deck. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe.